I wanted to make this video to explain why I didn't qualify for the CRST lease purchase program. Now, like I said in my previous video, I think it was the last video, I said that I talked to the recruiter and she told me that I wouldn't qualify. When I first talked to her, she said I would, but then after filling out the application, she said that I would not qualify. And there was a miscommunication in what I told her and I guess what she understood or whatever. So the reason I am not going to qualify for the CRST lease purchase program at this time is they need tractor trailer 18-wheeler experience. And what I told to her was the company I'm working for now, and I drive a Class A vehicle. It's a combination vehicle, but it's not an 18-wheeler. And I'm going to put a picture in of what I'm driving now, what I've been driving for the last 5 years, to let you guys see what I have been driving. Now, in that picture, you can see it is a straight truck, but there's a trailer on it, and I pull a piece of equipment. So it is a combination vehicle, and it has to be a Class A. I mean, it's a Class A. You got to have a Class A to drive that vehicle. Now, if you take the trailer off, you wouldn't have to have a Class A. It's got air brakes. I think you still have to, I think you can get it with a Class B. It has air brakes, but the weight, when the trailer goes on, it becomes a combination vehicle, and the weight of the machine, the trailer, and everything makes that over the weight limit for a Class B, and at that point you have to have a Class A. There's only 2 guys where I work at, me and another guy that can drive that truck. Everybody else at that place has a Class B. I have a Class A. He has a Class A. So when I talked to the recruiter, I told her I'm driving for said company. I won't say the name of the company I'm driving for. I drive for that company, and I told her it was a Class A combination vehicle, but you had to have a Class A, and I guess she interpreted it as being an 18-wheeler, which it's not. And when I filled the application out, you know, I put on there, obviously I'm driving a straight truck. It has a trailer on it, but it's not an 18-wheeler, and she needed 18-wheeler. She said 6 months over the road or regional. But since I got flatbed experience, a couple of the drivers that driving for CRST said that it only needed 3 months. So either 3 months or 6 months is what I'm going to need. I'm not sure. We'll just go with 6 months. I'm going to need 6 months before I can sign up for the lease purchase through CRST. So with that being said, like I said in my other video, what am I going to do? Well, obviously, I'm waiting to hear back from CRST to see what, because she told me she had options. She just didn't say what the options were. I'm talking to her through email. She didn't give me a phone number. She gave me an email address when I talked to her. I actually talked to her the first time on the phone. I called CRST, I guess I called the van division, and they transferred me to her, and she picked up because it was, I guess, her cell phone, but I don't actually have her number. And then I talked to her, and I'd said about getting a number if I get a hold of her, and she said it'd be easier to get a hold of her through email or something, which is not really easier because I've sent her several emails and she hasn't responded back. So I really don't have a number for her. So anyways, if I can get a hold of her this week, find out what the options are, we'll see what she says and we'll go from there. But with the experience, like I said, or what I've been driving doesn't qualify me, even though it is a combination vehicle, and even though it's a Class A, the weight and a combination vehicle, it's not an 18-wheeler. And I guess I don't know, maybe if I was driving an 18-wheeler and even if I was local, it might have worked. Like if I'd have been driving an actual tractor trailer but doing local work, she might have been able to qualify me. I think it's the fact that it's a straight truck, and even, you know, and that's the reason why it's not an 18-wheeler. But anyways, that's the reason why I didn't qualify for CRST. Where I go from now is obviously just trying to find a company that'll hire me, and hopefully I can get a flatbed company that'll hire me. I'll get 6 months in and then work my way back to CRST and sign up for their lease purchase and go from there. And you know, it's just going to be who's going to hire me. If there's a good chance that none of the flatbed companies will hire me. They might look at me and I've been out of school. I graduated from school in 2007 and then started driving truck, and it's been a while since I drove an 18-wheeler. They might look at that and be like, nah, we're not going to hire you. So any of the flatbed companies might not hire me. So I might have to go van. I can get hired on in a van. I know that there's a company, actually there's a local company in Winchester, which is 30 minutes from me. It's a van company. And I've already talked to them, and they're like, come on down, take a drug test, and we'll have you in a truck in a week. So I definitely can get tractor trailer experience. I just prefer it to be flatbed experience, because I'm going in the flatbed. It'd kind of be like 6 months of a refresher course, or 6 months of just working flatbed before I got on to CRST. So that's where the confusion was. I was talking to a couple guys that was messaging me, and I think the way I did my videos, I was kind of making it sound like I was driving driving an 18-wheeler local, and they were saying I should qualify, but I'm not actually driving an 18-wheeler. For the last 5 years, it's been a straight truck with a trailer pulling a piece of equipment. And because of the trailer and the equipment, it makes it a Class A, not a Class B. And that's where the confusion came in. The confusion for Tanya when I talked to her, whenever she said I would qualify, I'm assuming whenever I said a Class A, I guess she assumed I meant a tractor trailer. But it's a straight truck, but you do need a Class A to drive it. So that's it. Like I said, when I find out what's going on, like I said, I filled an application out for Boyd Brothers. I'm looking at 2 or 3 other flatbed companies. If none of them guys hire me, I'll talk to them this week. If none of them guys hire me, then we'll go jump in a van somewhere. I'll go run down to Winchester, jump in a van, get 3 months, see what they say. If that's not enough, then I'll go 6 months. And once the 6 months is up, we'll flip back over to CRST, and we'll be part of the lease purchase at the latest April. So that's how it's going to be. Okay, I was looking through the video, and I wanted to put this in real quick. I showed the truck, the trailer, and the piece of equipment I've been pulling for the last 5 years, and I said I got flatbed experience. I don't want you to think that the 5 years I'm driving for this company is what I'm talking about flatbed experience. I drove for Boyd Brothers and DM Bowman between 2008 and 2010. I got over, I think it's a year and a half or something like that, of flatbed experience, but it was, like I said, between 2008 and 2010. And when I talked to Tanya, she said it didn't matter how long ago the flatbed experience was, as long as I had flatbed experience. So that's where my flatbed, that's what I'm talking about when I say I got flatbed experience. I drove for DM Bowman driving a flatbed, and I drove for Boyd Brothers driving a flatbed between 2008 and 2010. So I've got over a year, almost a year and a half, I think, of flatbed experience. That was the last 2 companies I drove for before I went to other endeavors, and then the local stuff that I'm doing now. So I didn't want to get you confused on, oh, that straight truck with that trailer is not considered flatbed. I got actual flatbed at Boyd Brothers and DM Bowman. Just wanted to clear that up in case you were wondering.